Let's now speak to water security expert and UNISA Associate Professor Richard Meissner. He joins us now via our video link. Professor, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. Let's start off here. Let's get your reaction firstly when it comes to that announcement made by President Cyril Ramaphosa last night at the State of the Nation address, saying that a water crisis committee will be created and it will be headed by him to deal with the ongoing water challenges in the country.
Yes, I think it's high time. And it's significant that the president is taking charge of this committee. We've seen him over the past couple of years, two years, if I'm not mistaken, working closely with the eThekwini Metropolitan Municipality, where he convened the eThekwini Working Group to tackle the water woes in that metropolitan municipality. He has also, in that regard, in that working group, he worked closely with businesses and communities in getting the water infrastructure in a bit of, in a better shape. For instance, I read statistics that pumping stations, especially sanitation or sewer pumping stations, something like 245 have come online again. And we must remember that they had those devastating floods in April 2022. So this National Water Crisis Committee, and the name says it all. It's a National Water Crisis Committee, and it shows how deep and widespread the problem is. It's not just metropolitan municipalities, it's also in the smaller rural municipalities. I mean, I can just think of one example is Winnie Mandela, formerly known as Brandfort, where there is acute water shortages. People are relying on water tankers, boreholes, private citizens supplying water to their neighbors, and so on. So I'm quite excited about this committee. I have confidence that it will get up and running quite soon, maybe as soon as March.
And Professor, why do we find ourselves here as a country right now that we have to create this crisis committee that needs to address these challenges? I mean, we're always told that there was the issue of a lack of maintenance and poor infrastructure or aging infrastructure. How did we get here now that we see just the entire country dealing with water challenges?
Yeah, we must remember that there are about 257, I beg your pardon, 257 municipalities spread across the country. It's a metropolitan district as well as local municipalities. And for the past 32 years, it was a gradual decline in municipal administration as well as governance. Many of these municipalities, about 2 years ago in November 2024, many of them owed water boards a substantial amount of money. I can think of the Tabazimbi municipality owed Magali's water. I think it was tens of billions of rands. Other municipalities in the Free State and parts of Northwest owing Val Central. So it shows how important local authorities as water service providers are. They are the main water supply authorities of the residents. So they are the water authority closest to the citizens, and therefore they play such a very important role in water security. And it is through, like I said, this poor public administration and governance where we've seen, political instability in many of these municipalities. And Johannesburg is a typical example of a politically unstable municipality. I think they've had like 6 mayors and 5 speakers in the past less than 5 years.
And staying with the issue around municipalities, I mean, also last night from the president, we heard him saying that they will be taking legal action against 56 municipalities in the country. Will we be able to see accountability here, particularly when it comes to the crisis around water?
I beg your pardon, yes. The Department of Water and Sanitation has already, in 2024, I think it was early 2024, if I recall correctly, have started taking steps against numerous municipalities. We've had some court cases in Mpumalanga. I think it was Carolina municipality, where the municipality was fined a substantial amount of money. Now, let me just explain that fine system. It's not that the municipality is going to pay that money over to the court. I think the amount was something like 200 million rand, or just in excess of 200 million rand. And they were fined that amount, but then the municipality must use that funding to refurbish their water and sanitation infrastructure. And there were already, like I said, numerous court cases, and now it appears that the president has upped the ante and said that there are plans to formally charge even municipal managers. In other words, individuals responsible for at municipal level for the operations of the water and sanitation infrastructure.
Yeah.
But it's not as simple as it sounds. The Department of Water and Sanitation, when they lay such charges, the police must investigate, and the department is in the process of training police officers, because the police investigate violent crime, housebreakings, thefts, and things like that.
Yeah.
Not, municipal maladministration.
Yeah, and Professor, unfortunately, we have run out of time, but I just wanted to squeeze in the last question, and that comes to the issues of Limpopo and the water woes that they face. And we know that billions of rands have been spent in that Giyani water project. When it comes to that project, how far are we in terms of seeing that project finally completed, to see the people of Giyani get access to water?
The last I've heard, the project is progressing, and what I've heard is some months ago, it is progressing well, and yeah, so I'm just not sure. I don't have information on what the floods did to that project, whether there was damage. It may have set it back somewhat, but the last I've heard from one of my students from that area, the project is going, the project is progressing well. When they will have water, I have no idea, but I can say that the project is progressing.
All right, Professor, thank you so much for your time. That's Professor Richard Meissner. He is a water security expert and UNISA associate professor there, talking to us about that announcement from President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying that they are prioritizing the provision of water throughout the country.